Alright, today for the past 4 hours or so, this has taken me a lot longer than any other speakers I've made because I had to find a way to box in this sub, but I ran out of hot glue, so I had to find an alternative on how to have it boxed in and how to get it all to stay together. Well, this is my sub right here, and compared to my last one I made, it's a lot bigger, obviously. It's a Well, depending on how you measure it's either 4 inches or 3 inches, depending on which way you measure it from. And I have it all wired like I would my other sub, but it's inside of an old pair of headphones that my friend gave me. These old headphones right here, I just basically stripped the inside of one of the sides of it, and then I put my magnets down in the bottom, which you can't really see, but then once I had my magnets mounted, I duct taped those down, and then I got my coil and I wrapped around a AA battery because the neodymium magnets I had were smaller than a AA, so I went ahead and wrapped that around a few times. I got a double wrap on it. I made sure even the second time over that I had a tight coil, and I have my wires running out through the side in one of the holes, and this whole entire thing is just duct taped together. And whenever I made it, I got metal going around this whole entire outer rim so that it can be a little bit taller because I accidentally made the shaft for the coil too tall, and so I had to raise it up somehow. And earlier I had used paper. I twisted it up basically like you would a rope, and then I duct taped it around the edges and had it playing. It was pretty loud, but whenever I did that, it also muffled it quite a bit. So I took that out, got some metal plates that I got off of my motherboard, and I cut them into strips and lined them around, duct taped them in place, and then for the diaphragm right here, all I did was get a CD and cut it down so that it'll fit inside of here, and then I mounted my shaft from my coil to there, and then I ran duct tape off of it to the center, and then I made this little divot here to cover up the hole where the coil is because it's a CD, and I found that it also helps push the air a little bit better that way. And when you're making a sub, you need to make sure there's a hole so that air can get to it so it gets enough push. So that's why I have a hole on this side and on this side, and obviously I have tape running out of it, but that's how I got the magnets to stay strapped down. But those are also there to provide airflow, that way you get better sound quality. And I used two neodymium magnets. They both came from some itty bitty speakers I got off of an iHome speaker set, which was the one I used for the Surface speaker. So if you were wanting requests to show the Surface speaker again, I'm sorry if you wanted to see it again, but I went ahead and took the magnets out of that so that I could make me a bigger sub. Compared to this little one right here, it's a whole lot louder and actually carries bass pretty well. And whenever you do it, it has, I would say, I don't know how many ohms or how many watts or anything it is, but I'm pretty sure it could be a lot louder than it is right now if I were to hook it up to a stronger amp. And this is what it sounds like. Oh wait, that's my laptop playing right now. I forgot to hook up the wire to it. I was wondering why the treble was so high on it and why I wasn't hitting any bass. Alright, here we go. One sec, speaking loose. There we go. And if I don't hold it down, it just crawls across the desk. And because of how much air it's needing right now, you can stick your hand to the bottom of it and you can feel the air flowing through it. And right now, the music I'm using to demonstrate this is on YouTube. It's top 10 songs with the most bass dubstep. I'll put the description in the bottom if you need it for any subs that you're making. And it's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate the usual songs I use for bass. These are mine that I use because, in my opinion, they're really good with bass. This one's Dope Peddler by 2 Chainz. And as you see, it goes pretty hard. That's why I like 2 Chainz Dope Peddler, because it has really good bass. And then here's Dance by Big Sean. Make that motherfucker. And then here comes the Boom by Nelly. And there you go. That's my little sub I made. And if you're wondering about the build, all it is the same build that you use for any other speaker. Like, it's built almost exactly the same. The only difference is you need bigger magnets for the smaller, say instead of making a speaker really big like the magnets I have for this one right now, uh, if you were to just make a regular speaker, it would literally be, I would say, about this big compared to how big it is right now. That's your average speaker size for it, and then you condense it so that whenever the bass hits, it has enough power going to it. Because if you make it too big, you're not going to get that much bass. So you want it to be compressed compared to any other speakers, and that's how you make a sub. Just build you a speaker, but with a small diaphragm and not a big one, and then make sure you mount it right and make sure there's enough room for it to flex. That way you get better sound out of it and a lot harder bass. And once you do that, just if you have an equalizer, I suggest turning on true bass and also going to the equalizer and putting the treble down and raising the bass on it. And then whenever you do that, just pick any song. Like I said, I use the top 10 dubstep songs with a lot of bass. I'm going to put the link in the description below, and it's really simple and easy to make your own homemade sub. Like, everybody thinks it's so hard, but you can make tons of them with tons of little magnets. You can even make itty bitty magnets, kind of like the one that, I mean, not itty bitty magnets, but itty bitty speakers like I did on one of my previous videos. Like, all you need is, you can use a refrigerator magnet if you want, but it's not going to be as loud. I suggest neodymium, which is what I used in my sub right here. I just put 2 neodymium ones, and they're about maybe 3/4 of an inch tall right now. But that's all the neodymium magnets I had. But simple and easy. Anybody can do it. Like I said, say in all my videos, it's not that hard. And all it takes is just a little bit of thinking, and then you're good.